Right then guys, how's it going and welcome back to another fantasy football video. Game week 2 is over. There was a lot of goals in game week 2. There was a big chance for points in game week 2. We saw some huge scores for certain players and certain people. Unfortunately, I am not included in that group. And because of that, I, like many others, are now considering the wild card for game week 3. But before we get on to my team, as always, we will take a look at how you guys are doing in my league. So you can see here I have dropped all the way down to place 570th, which to be fair isn't actually that bad considering we do still have thousands of people in the league. You can actually see here a handful of people are jumping into the league, which is great. If you haven't joined, it's not too late. The code is on the screen. Be sure to get involved. But as I say, I think I was, what was I last week, 130th or something, so 400 places down isn't great, and you can already see 45 points from me this week, which we will get onto in a second. But as always, as we scroll up, if you were on this top page, you've probably had 2 very good weeks to start the season. Straight away we can see 83 points, 92, 103 points here for So Solid Crew, very good. 106 points for the Flash. We'll keep making our way all the way up. Top 10, top 3, and number 1 this week is Angela's Ashes, Angela Pickard, sorry. 95 points, 187 over 2 weeks. Well done to you, Angela. Big up, first place in the league. 95 points is a very good week. We've had 2 back-to-back 90 plus points in the first 2 weeks, which I've got to say is very good going. Take a look at Angela's team. 95 points, Ramsdale in goal. You see straight away we've not even looked at like the defence straight away. Ramsdale with 2, Bellerin with 2, Mitchell with 5, Gabriel with 2. So really defensively hasn't done hugely well, but the midfield and strikers have absolutely smashed it. I think straight away we've seen the key players here. Son, 4 goals. Calvert-Lewin, 3 goals. That's a huge shout having Mapai in. Really pulled the points in this week. Rodriguez, I think a lot of people are going to be putting him in, and Aubameyang captain with 10. A lot of people are taking him out as it happens, but very solid team there. As I say, if Son and Calvert-Lewin keep doing it, then you've got in there really before the price goes up, and same with Rodriguez as well. So well done, Angela. As I say, if you haven't joined the league already, be sure to jump in. Let's take a look. Unfortunately, let's take a look at my team. So as I say, 45 points. Very disappointing week. I had a few players who pulled in some points. Aubameyang captain got 10. Mitrovic, thank God, got 12. Alexander-Arnold with the clean sheet, 7. Mitchell got himself an assist, so he's on 5. But after that, it's just McCarthy 0, Doherty 0, Souček 2, Werner 2 again, Fernandez 2. And if you watched my video last week, I took Son out for Fernandez. So that was a huge disappointment. I mean, you can't predict it. I was very annoyed at first. I've got over it now. We're only 2 weeks in. There's time to recover. But my first transfer is to take out a player who scores 4 goals. Is very, very hard to take. But I mean, who could expect it? Spurs looked useless against Everton. Come out against Southampton, score 4. Fernandez back in for Man U. First game up, Crystal Palace. I'm thinking he's going to at least get something. And no, he didn't. So, yeah, that was my week. Disappointing. What are we going to do next? So, as I mentioned, I have very much thought about doing the wild card this week. And I think it's a bit of everything. The thing is, I haven't got Calvert-Lewin. I haven't got Ings. I haven't got Rodriguez. I haven't got players that people are kind of pulling in, and it's very... Is it reactionary to just wildcard it and put them in my team, put Son back in, you know. And I do actually always say you should follow the trends. That's the way I always do it, and I think it's normally the best way to do it. Follow the form, try to follow the fixtures. Don't just sit there and be like, okay, Werner, you've not scored yet, but hopefully you'll do it next week, and hopefully you'll do it the week after that, because if you end up doing it, you can wait all season and someone has still not got any points. I think Werner will come into his own, but players like Souček, who I put in, he hasn't done anything in 2 weeks. I could easily see him not doing anything for another 3 weeks. You know, he might do it next week, but am I going to keep waiting every week and hoping that he does it? You know, that's the thing. I think you should try and follow it, and you can see that people do that. That's why Calvert-Lewin's already up to 7.2 million. That's why even Mitchell, £4 million Crystal Palace defender, is up to 4.1 million now. Having said all of that, I think I'm going to give it one more week. The reason being behind it is because if you do take a look at the team, you know, Doherty for Spurs, £6 million defender, hasn't done anything in the first 2 weeks. But he's now playing against Newcastle at home, and if he's going to do it against anyone, it's probably going to be Newcastle United. However, he is not playing the same role as he did for Wolves. He's not playing as the wing back. He's not able to get as far forward. And because of that, I don't know if he is worth that 6 million price tag. Alexander-Arnold, he's played 2 games. He's 7.5 million. I'm hoping he's going to get an assist or something, and he hasn't done it. But, you know, it is for a whole season. It's not just 2 game weeks. So, again, with that one. And then the midfield. You know, I think if I am going to do anything this week, it'll be, again, to do what most people are doing, which is take out Aubameyang and put in De Bruyne or Sterling. Fernandes against Brighton away. You know, Brighton did win their game 3-0, but hopefully there's some hope for him there. Liverpool against Arsenal at home. You know, Salah takes the pens, he can come out. And I mentioned Werner already. He has now got West Brom away, and West Brom are letting in goals. If he's going to get a goal, it's going to be in this game. And I think these are some of the reasons why I'm thinking just give it one more week. You never know. Doherty clean sheet against Newcastle and an assist. Werner managed to bag himself 3 goals. Mitro gets back on the score sheet. Fernandes wakes up and scores a pen. You know, if all of that comes in, then maybe I don't need the wild card, which is why I feel like let's just give it one more week. Will I regret it? Quite possibly. And if you are thinking about using the wild card, I wouldn't talk you out of it, because I've basically talked myself out of it. So if you think you should do it, I wouldn't disagree. But I think it is worth giving Werner that extra game. And I think they've got, is it Crystal Palace in the 4th game as well? Crystal Palace have looked decent this season, but you know, this is why we put Werner in. It was to wait. It was to get the West Brom game. It was to get the Crystal Palace game. So let's hope he can go ahead and do something in those games. Another reason I am quite tempted to use the wild card is because if we take a look at transfers and what I was looking to do, straight away, Aubameyang out, yeah. Looking at the Man City game, it was always going to be either Sterling or De Bruyne. You may well have guessed what I'm about to say next. If we take a look at Man City, De Bruyne is already up to 11.6 million. So doing that, I now have 0.4 million in the bank. That 0.5 million was going to be used to upgrade Souček or upgrade one of my £4 million defenders. I can't do that anymore if I go for De Bruyne. So do I go for Sterling for the sake of that 0.1 million that I could then put on someone else? But I think De Bruyne is going to be we already know he's popular. He's already got it by 0.1. I think looking at Man City play against Wolves, De Bruyne was playing in like a number 10 role. If you think how many points he got last year playing as a centre mid, if he's now going to be playing as a number 10, it could be even more. But then again, this goes back to it, and this kind of why I've decided to hold off on the wild card is because I'm going to go, Sterling, De Bruyne, trying to throw all these players in. Yes, they may go out and score loads of goals, but it's not like I haven't got players who can't score. You know, I've got 3 penalty takers in Salah, Fernandes, Mitrovic, Wilson could take, there is points in that team, and I think I just need to just give it one more week to just see, can they sort themselves out, and if not, I'll use the wild card. If I do get a good week, then maybe I'll leave it one more week and then wild card for after the national break. But yeah, I had an awful week. I've basically talked myself around to not using the wild card. I am going to make that change for Aubameyang, and to be honest, I probably need to do it sooner rather than later, because De Bruyne is only going to go up in value, and if I want him, then I should just go for it. But knowing my luck, I'll put De Bruyne in and then Sterling will get a hat-trick. So that is another tough decision to make. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on my team. What do you reckon? Looking at that, I think it's just the fixtures. I think Doherty at home, Salah versus Arsenal, Werner versus West Brom, Mitro versus Aston Villa, Fernandes against Brighton. If this is the thing, if they're gonna do something, it really should be this week, and I think that's why it is worth giving it that extra week. But let me know down below. If I don't do the wild card now, Calvert-Lewin gets another hat-trick, his price goes up again. Let me know down below. Do you think I should be using my wild card? Is it worth waiting another week? Let me know what you're doing with your team. What transfer did you do this week? Have you already put De Bruyne in? Are you one of the people who's conned me out of 0.1 million? I bet a lot of you are. Let me know what you've done for your transfer this week. Let me know how you did for your points this week. I'm sure a lot of you did better than me. And yeah, a few decisions to be made coming into the new weekend. So yeah, let me know. How's it going for you? Drop a like if you are enjoying these fantasy football videos, and be sure to subscribe as well. I will be doing my predictions video this week, but it won't be till Thursday night because I'll be watching the Newcastle game tomorrow night. So yeah, be sure to tune in on Thursday as well for the predictions video. But as always, thank you for watching, guys, and I'll catch you later.